Yesterday's video entitled, "Hey, racist white people, you don't want to hear this." Well, it sparked quite a few comments. One, which I thought was respectful and interesting, came from Worm405. This video is kind of in response. So let's talk about something that makes some people uncomfortable, but I think it's necessary if we really want to understand America today, and that's white privilege. Now, when some people hear that term, they immediately think, oh, it means every white person is rich or powerful or never struggles. That's not what it means, in my opinion. In my opinion, privilege simply means there are certain advantages, often invisible, that comes with being white in America. And this is my opinion. These are my 10 examples that came right to me. So let's break it down. And again, Worm405, thank you for your comment on yesterday's video. And this list of 10 is what I responded to you yesterday, and I decided to make a video. And I want to stress, this is my opinion as a 55-year-old woman, African-American woman, who was born and raised in America. I'm not saying this is the end-all list. This is just the first 10 I thought of based on my life experiences. I have a voice and I'm speaking it. I'm going to use it. If you agree with it or not, I really don't care. But please stick with me. You might notice how these small advantages can actually add up in everyday life. 1. Presumption of innocence in public spaces. When a white person walks into a store, they're less likely to be followed by security. When they jog through a neighborhood, people usually don't assume that they're suspicious, that they've done anything criminal. That freedom from suspicion is a privilege. 2. Representation in media. Turn on the TV, go to the movies, or open a magazine. Most stories you see, or heroes or love interests you see, are white. That constant representation makes it easier for white people to see themselves as the default. That also shapes how society sees them as well. 3. Educational advantage. Because schools are often funded by local property taxes, predominantly white neighborhoods, well, they may tend to have better schools, more advanced programs, and higher graduation rates. That gives some white students opportunities that many black and brown students may never get. 4. Job market bias. Studies show that job applicants with white-sounding names like Emily or Greg, for example, well, they get more callbacks than applicants with black-sounding names, even if their resumes are identical. That's privilege operating quietly behind the scenes. 5. Housing opportunities. White families are more likely to be approved for loans, to be given fair rental opportunities, and they are less likely to face discrimination from landlords. On the flip side, black families, even if they have the same income and credit score, well, they tend to be denied more often at much higher rates. And remember, housing builds wealth, and that access to housing is a privilege given to white people more often than black people. 6. Interactions with law enforcement. When pulled over by police, white drivers are less likely to be searched, to be arrested, or to face violence compared to black or Latino drivers. The same goes for walking down the street. For many people of color, an encounter with the police carries real fear. That's a privilege when it doesn't carry that fear. 7. Cultural acceptance. Now, let's think about hair and clothing. Straight, blonde, or brown hair is considered professional, but dreadlocks, afros, braids, turbans that I'm wearing, too often they are judged as unprofessional or unacceptable. White people usually don't face punishment for their natural look. That's also a privilege. Some people have made a comment on prior videos which have been blocked that I look like Aunt Jemima. That's racist, in case you didn't know. 8. Political power and influence. Look at the highest offices of power. Presidents, I'm talking about, or senators, Supreme Court justices, for example, the overwhelming majority of these types of office holders have been white. So that means that white Americans often see people who look like them, and that's important. Well, they see them shaping the laws and making decisions. 9. Healthcare disparities. In hospitals, white patients are more likely to have their pain taken seriously and treated properly. For example, black women are 3 times more likely to die in childbirth than white women, regardless of income or education. That difference is a privilege because you see too many white nurses or doctors believe that black women are stronger and have a higher pain threshold or just don't need pain medication. 10. Freedom from tokenism. White people can walk into a classroom, a workplace, or a leadership position without being expected to represent their entire race. Black and brown individuals, on the other hand, are often seen as spokespeople for all people of their background. Not having to carry that weight, that's also a privilege. So, what do all these examples tell us? In my opinion, again, this video is my opinion, white privilege isn't about saying white people never struggle. Hell, I believe everybody struggles no matter what your race is. But for me, it means that race isn't usually one of the things working against you if you're white in America. Recognizing privilege doesn't mean feeling guilty, and I don't want you all to think that, but it does mean being aware. And with awareness comes responsibility to listen, to learn, and to work towards, well, a fairer system for everyone. So what do you think? Did any of these examples stand out to you? Have you seen them play out in your own life or community? Let me know in the comments. Be respectful, not only to me, but to other commenters. Again, I was not disrespectful towards anyone in this video, and I demand the same from all commenters on the video as well. If you don't like that, you didn't have to watch my video, and you don't have to comment. Block me, feel free. Because if you're disrespectful, you will be blocked on my channel. Now for my reminders. 1. Keep demanding release of those documents, and you know which ones I mean. The Epstein files, and now the Holman files. 2. No Kings Music Festival. Well, the next one's happening on October 18th, 2025. For more information, go to their website, nokings.org. And 3. Keep your eyes on the prize. The prize is the White House and democracy in America. Do not get distracted by the foolishness, mayhem, debauchery, and lies coming out of this administration. If you liked this video, or if you learned anything, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. All of that helps me out immensely, and I thank you in advance for doing so. And as always, thank you for watching, and have a great day.